Eric Townsend here with the Law Eagles Minute. Today we have Steve Heroux, the founder of Victory Selling, on the show. This guy was #1 in the country with Aflac. And by the way, he was also #1 in the country with Cutco Knives. This guy knows sales. He has a new tool that he calls Sales DNA Test that blew my mind away. I'm really excited to have Steve here today. So thank you for being here, Steve.
Thanks, man. Good to reconnect, man.
Absolutely. How are you doing?
Amazing. It's just such an interesting time where we have the ability to either focus on the good or worry about the bad. And I just choose to focus on the good. We've had a great day already, 2 new clients, one we were just talking about, and it's just exciting to be able to help people through this time. So
that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a tough time, and it's good to see people still doing business. I feel like a lot of people got stuck in a rut, and they're it's tough. So
yeah, there are some, and believe me, I'm empathetic to people. I understand, right? Some people literally lost their livelihoods, right? Their restaurant got closed, their hotel got shut down, their group event business got changed, right? And so I totally understand the situation. As a keynote speaker, right? All my gigs got canceled, right? Big ones.
Gotcha.
But what can you do, right? You got to pivot, you got to move, you got to adjust, you got to adapt, and that's what we got to do, man. Just like Mr. Charles Darwin, right? Adapt or die.
That's right. That's right.
Choice.
And when this thing when we're done with this pandemic, when it starts working its way out, one of the things people are absolutely going to have to focus on is their sales, the sales for their business, and that's one of the big reasons why I wanted to bring you on the show, is because you were telling me about this Sales DNA tool and how much companies are spending on, sales agents in their companies. A lot of people don't realize this, but law firms are in the same boat too. We have to do sales just like anybody else.
Yeah.
So go into it. Tell me a little bit about Sales DNA.
Even I'll just use this as only because you just brought this up, and I do this as, in training and teaching people as an attorney. If you want to become an attorney, you can't just sign up and go to a weekend event and now I'm an attorney on Monday. It's 7 years, right? It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. Right. Oh, and by the way, you got to pass the bar. Okay, then you get to be an attorney, and then you get to make money. But in sales,
sounds very familiar.
There's this weird thing in sales, and it happens in the real estate industry quite a bit, where people go, oh, you know what? I saw this thing. I'm going to go to this weekend event. I'm going to spend $1,000. I'm going to dance around on some chairs. I maybe even break some boards in half. Maybe I'll get to walk on some fire, and then I'll be rich on Monday. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, and then I'm going to sign up for $8,000 worth of coaching when I don't know the first thing about sales. Yeah, that'll work.
That sounds like a bad plan.
That is what they do, man. And people wonder why they don't sell houses, or they don't sell copiers or cars or whatever the hell it is. You can't learn how to sell on the weekend.
Yeah, let's start there. Is everybody a salesperson?
No.
Right. Okay, good. That's a good starting point. Not everybody can do sales, right?
No. Could they do it and eventually learn to be effective at it? Absolutely. But you got to put the freaking time in. That's like pointing, we hear this a lot, right? Oh, she was born to be in sales. He was born to be in sales, right? That's complete garbage. That is like saying Serena Williams was born to be a tennis star. Like, no, she's been taking lessons since she's been 3 years old. That's why she's Serena Williams.
Right.
It's like the Tiger, Oh, what?
She didn't go to a tennis
golfer
camp
of all time, right? Like,
it wasn't just from one tennis camp. One tennis
no,
camp didn't do it.
That's what you get sold, right? Come to my weekend event and we'll dance around and you'll make $400,000 in real estate next year. It's like, what? I mean, it's not just that industry; it's all of them, right? Everybody wants the shortcut. Well, guess what? There aren't any, right?
Yeah.
I think we were talking about Kevin Hart the other day, but Kevin Hart makes, I don't know, 100 million a year now, something like that.
Wow.
But nobody saw the 16 years when he was getting kicked out of bowling alleys because a clown making animal balloons was more wanted. Like, That stuff happens, but nobody sees the 16 years of struggle. They don't see the 16-year overnight success. Right?
Definitely.
And this is the BS that people buy because they see it on social media. They see the guy standing next to their plane. Go, want a plane like me? Well, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch that get repossessed, buddy. Because everybody that has this bravado, everybody that talks about their Bentley and all this kind of stuff, it's really easy when the economy's going great and everybody's winning. But when you pull the curtain back, right, and you see the reality of what's really behind these people that never really established, right, an actual ability to teach, coach, train somebody, because you see all the gurus out there. If you actually look up what did these gurus sell, I mean, what qualifies them to teach you how to sell? Honestly, what did they sell?
Yeah.
95% of them never sold jack.
Yeah. In
All
their
they
past
did
life.
was create funnels. They
Yeah.
sell information that
For
they
sure.
regurgitate to everyone
Yeah.
else. They're just good marketers. Show me what you sold, bro.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll listen.
I
But
had
it's
in a previous
crazy.
life, I sold real estate. I did that. I
Yeah.
was a broker. I ran a company for a long time. You know that. I sold a
Yeah.
lot of
Oh yeah.
properties too. I sold 20 to 30 properties a year on
Yeah.
my own. So I
Yeah.
was doing quite a bit, but that was years ago. So, I understand that. And every time I went to one of those training courses
Events.
or
Yeah.
events, the weekend events,
Yeah.
it always drove me crazy because you'd have them give away 30 different tools on how
Yeah.
you can generate business. And
Yeah.
honestly, half of those tools you might already be good at and you don't really need
Right.
help on. But now
Right.
you questioning yourself on whether or not you're good at these things. And then there's another couple tools that might have been really good for you. And if you incorporated just those one or two tools, it would have been perfect.
Oh
So it's
yeah.
really a hodgepodge. You're kind of being stuck in the middle of this analysis paralysis
Yeah.
of all these different things that just don't really have
And
anything to do with your business.
no, and it's like, I'm not saying you don't have to market. Like, of course you got to market. Of course you got to get leads. But if you can't convert the leads, what does it matter?
Yeah,
The selling part is the important part. Like
definitely.
if you do sell houses, you got to sell the houses. Like
Yeah,
that's the part that matters, right?
yeah,
If you sell cars, you got to sell the cars. If you sell insurance, you got to sell the insurance.
yeah.
I don't care how you get the people in front of you, but if
So
you
it sounds
can't
like,
convert, what does
yeah,
it matter?
right. Exactly. It sounds like that's what sales DNA does as well. Because when
Yes.
you were explaining it to me, what
Yeah.
the concept I thought of it was, you have an equation to do sales. That equation is not the same for everybody. It can't be the
No,
same for everybody. That's impossible.
it
So
is.
basically, the person that you're identifying to determine whether or not they're going to fit within your sales model, you have to see if they fit. They're a part of that equation too. There is an equation, and you can have an
Correct.
equation, but they need to be analyzed with that, not just thrown in and say, hey, I think this person can do it because of some
Yeah.
subjective standard like, hey, we're both Italian, or hey, this is, this
It's
person went to the same school I went to.
yeah.
They'll be able to
Yes.
sell.
It's like seeing a guy on the street, right, who's 6'10", and you go, "Oh, are you an NBA center?"
Yeah.
What? No, why? Oh, you're tall. Like
There's a whole lot of other
this
criteria that
is
go into that.
this is what all these assessment tools do, right? The DISC profile, Myers-Briggs. There's something called predictive index that's not predictive. I mean, like this is the crap that's out there, and companies go, "Oh, she's a high D. She's got a great personality. She'll be good at selling medical devices." Like what?
Yeah.
Where does this come from? But it's the marketing of these tools, these assessment companies that have made people think, oh, he's a green, he'll be a good leader. Like what? It's just crazy, man. So when
Yeah.
I found this, I had just finished doing a keynote for Aflac. I do a lot of training for them around the country, and the guy that runs Aflac up in Massachusetts and New England said, "Hey man, your content is freaking good, but you got to see this tool." And I thought he was going to sell me on some other stupid blank training system or DISC or some other stuff. And when he showed me the DNA test, I was like, Oh my God. I have never seen anything like this in my life because it measures the 21 core competencies that make up somebody's success in sales. And it's not only their success in sales, it is customized to what you sell. So we can tell people if they can sell, right, soda in Poughkeepsie, New York. And if they can't, or if they can, to what degree can we get better? And some of the things we were talking about, like we measure something called the need to be liked. Most salespeople have this need to be liked by their prospects. And that comes from all the old myths we've all been told about people buy from people they like and they trust, which is not true. People buy when there's value. If some guy that you can't stand showed up at your house today and says, "Hey, Eric, man, it's tough times. I got to get rid of my Lamborghini. Give me $3,000 and it's yours." You'd buy it.
Yep.
I don't even care if it runs. You would buy it because there's value.
That's a great value proposition.
You might hate the guy's guts, but you still buy it because there's value. And so when we look at what actually causes people to not be able to close deals, it's because they have a need to be liked. Because when their prospect pushes back, they don't want to upset them and they don't want to say what needs to be said. And so they lose the deal. There's another one, which is a really interesting one called the supportive buy cycle. And if you don't have a supportive buy cycle, here's what happens. Or let me explain what a supportive buy cycle is. If you are a value shopper, okay, you are going to buy a new living room set, right? Do you go to like 67 stores, right? Sit on 130 couches before you pick one? If you do, that's an unsupportive buy cycle. And how that hurts you is because if somebody tells you as a prospect, "Geez, Eric, I need to look around. I need to figure this out. I need to talk to my spouse," or whatever, you agree with them because that's how you buy. And so then you go into follow-up mode. "Sounds good, Eric. I'll call you back after you look around." You lose the deal.
Gotcha.
It's stuff like that that needs to be measured. And the third one, which is a really interesting one, is people being comfortable with money. And it's not only what they feel about money, but it's having financial discussions and also discussing other people's money. Because if you think that 10 grand is a lot of money and you're selling something that's 900 grand and somebody says, "Geez, Eric, that's a lot of money," you agree with them physiologically by default because you do think it's a lot of money. And because you do, you then start saying different things like, "Oh, geez, that is a lot of money. I understand why you want to hold off on it." You lose the deal.
Yeah.
That's all the stuff that prevents people from closing.
Yeah, I mean, with lack of belief in the product that they're actually selling a lot of the time too.
A lot
like,
of it.
I saw that in real estate all the time. You would see people go out and they would be kind of him-hawing it, we can sell your property, we can do it. And it's like, that's not the value proposition. The value proposition is, we'll get you more money. We'll end up selling your property for a lot more than you're going to sell it on your own. And we have the tools to sell it at the highest price you can get. That's what we do. That's what our,
you just made me think of another thing. I just taught this on another real estate podcast. The discounting thing, right? So I've done talks in the industry about the iBuyers, right? And the discount brokers, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to compete with Redfin. We got to compete with all these companies, right? So their idea of getting the deal is, well, okay, fine. I'll do it for 2%. I'll do it for 1%. Nope. You cannot do that, guys. If you are in a business where you charge a percentage or a premium or whatever, don't ever discount what you do. Because if you start discounting, you, right, are lessening your value. Now you're just a commodity like everybody else.
Yeah, and you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in yourself anymore.
They don't believe that they're worth 3%.
Yeah.
But if you
don't believe in yourself,
deliver it,
and if you don't believe in yourself, you're never going to provide that service that you're claiming you're going to provide. You're going to try to provide that service, but you're going to end up screwing it up because you don't think you're valuable. You don't think you're valuable.
So here's another issue, and this came from a different podcast that I was listening to from one of the gurus, right? Which led to one of my blogs or rants or whatever you want to call it on LinkedIn. So this guru goes, well, here's a tip to selling. You just got to ask for the sale. Make sure at the end, you're asking for the sale because you have to ask for the sale, right? Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
But the reason people don't ask for the sale is all this stuff, right? That's like telling somebody, oh, don't be afraid of heights, just jump. You just got to jump. Don't even worry. No, they're afraid of heights. We have to overcome the fear of heights. So if you tell people, all you got to do is ask for the sale or give them some stupid closing question or whatever, it's never going to work because we didn't uncover the reasons why they don't believe in themselves. And why don't they believe in themselves? Because of all the BS that they've been taught at the weekend events, where if they just do this thing and send a video email, oh, you're going to get listened. No, dude.
Yeah.
They don't believe in themselves because they don't know how to sell. They've never understood what has been holding them back, right?
Yeah.
Is it the style of their process of their sale? Is it their ability to negotiate? Is it their ability to reach the right decision maker? Is it their ability to consultatively sell? It's all those things that we can identify in somebody and then help them fix. Then when we help them fix those things, magically they sell more.
Gotcha.
But we don't teach this stupid, here's the script on closing. Is there anything, Eric, that would prevent you and I from moving forward today? Yeah, you
reading that script.
Right? Yeah. But that's what they think. This is what's taught, man. All this ABC garbage, all this stuff. Like,
ridiculous.
I won't say who this is, but you know who it is. I was doing all these classes for SDAR, and one of the guys we were talking about.
And SDAR is San Diego Association of Realtors.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So the audience knows.
Yeah, San Diego Association of Realtors. We're doing a talk. I was teaching them how to build and engage, right, with your prospects and your clients. And we've all been taught to build rapport, and you and I know we've been taught that in sales forever. Right. And the old school method was, well, boy, Eric, that's a great bear's head you killed or something on your wall, and you're a vegetarian, right? This fake, I'll point at something in their office, and boy, that's a great putter driver. I love golf, right? So we're teaching this, and this guy stands up, real estate agent stands up. He goes, Steve, I'm just laughing because I have to tell you this story. I'm like, please tell me. He goes, one of the famous real estate trainers, right? This is what he did in our weekend event. Gets in front of the room, goes, you guys want to be good at sales? You guys want to know the key? Fake sincerity.
Wow.
This is being taught.
Oh my God.
If you just want to mortgage your integrity, be my guest, right? If you want to be phony, please do. But we ain't working together, and that ain't my client, and that is not the way to do it.
You are who you are. People are going to connect.
So insane.
Yeah. People are going to relate to you or they're not. And it's, there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
You can't. If you try to create some fault, you're going to sell less. You're going to do less business by being that way. Because at the end of the day, people are going to see that. And the people you would have connected with, you're doing this stuff now that makes you look like a jerk. Like,
and it all goes back. Guess what it all goes back to? The need to be liked.
Right.
And it all goes back, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got to be friendly and nice and tell them they have a nice dress and pretty shoe. No, dude. Just be real. Just be authentic. If they don't like you, screw them.
Yep. Know your value proposition and, make sure you're there. Yeah, exactly.
It's just crazy, man.
It is nuts. Well, let's get into it, dude. Yeah, absolutely. No, I do not disagree with you. So let's go back into the sales DNA test. Yeah. Let's get into that. So basically, a company comes up, let's say it's an HVAC company. It walks up and says, hey, we got sales. We got, we've had 5 different salespeople.
Yeah, we're struggling.
In the last year. Yeah. We're struggling. We've been paying each one of these salespeople $97,000 a year to go out and get us more business. What do you do for that? What do you tell that company? What do you say to them? Like, what's your process with the sales DNA?
Yeah, there's two two real parts and uses for it. The first part is we got to figure out what's going on with their existing sales operations, right? We don't know what it is. Is it the salespeople? Is it the process? Is it the product? Is it the follow-up? Is it the service? Is it the leadership? What is it? So we can't even help somebody unless we diagnose the issue first. And this is the problem with 99% of sales trainers out there. You know, these sales trainers they're kind of like a doctor, right? So let's say you hurt your knee really bad. You can't walk, but you know something is wrong, and you go to the doctor for help. And you walk in and the doctor doesn't look at you. She doesn't touch you. She doesn't examine you. She doesn't do an MRI and says, hey, Eric, we'll see you tomorrow for surgery at 7.
Yeah, that's not good.
Right?
That is not what you're looking for. Yeah, for sure.
So then your buddy walks in, same doctor, right? But your buddy has an earache. So he walks in, the same doctor. Again, no exam, no diagnosis, no MRI. And she goes, hey, Scott, we'll see you for surgery tomorrow at 7. And he's like, well, no, but I just have an earache. No, I know, but we just give everybody knee surgery.
So I don't need knee surgery. And you're analogizing here the current sales approach.
Oh my God.
Current approach to sales.
This is the current approach to sales trainers.
To sales trainers, right. So people in companies that are sending their staff, the people they're paying $97,000 a year to go out and get them business, this is the training that they're getting, right?
Yeah, it's just the generic BS. It's just
they're a doctor that knows how to do knee surgery.
Make more calls, or hey, send all your people to my blank training system. We're gonna no, dude, you don't even know why your salespeople are not performing. And if you have 6 salespeople, guess what? All 6 have completely different sales DNAs. They have completely different self-limiting beliefs, completely different skill sets, mindsets, behaviors, habits, attitudes. All of it is different. How could you ever train all these people the same exact way? You don't even know how they're motivated. You don't know what their motivation level or style is. But it's this cookie cutter, generic training. It doesn't work. It's never worked. It didn't work in 1990. It doesn't work in 2020. You have got to figure out the issue first before you teach somebody. And if you're in sales and you don't know why you're not fulfilling, right, your potential, wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you want to know if you had a giant piece of spinach stuck in your front 2 teeth?
All right.
You'd want someone to tell you, I would assume.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It all goes back to figuring out, what do I need to work on? Because there are tons of people who are great at knocking on doors, and there are tons of people who are deathly afraid of knocking on doors. But they'll pick up the phone and make 100 calls. But here's what sales managers do and sales trainers do. Oh, you got to go knock on 57 doors today. But I don't want to do that, and I'm not good at it. Oh, but that's okay. We all do it. And now this person quits, they're gone.
Yep.
Right. And it's an epidemic. And it's just like, why wouldn't we want to dive in? If you do lead salespeople, wouldn't you want to know every single thing about them so we can figure out how to use their strengths and how to use, where they're great? But that's not how it works. And that's not how sales training has been done for 40 years. But that's why you keep getting these sales trainers that regurgitate the same old BS. They just name it something different or teach it differently in the next year's weekend event, which you already got this stuff. And guess what? You still haven't changed because we never fixed the behavior. We never fixed, that skill set.
Yeah.
Or that limiting belief. And what makes
it's not an equation
great
for everybody. It's an equation where the person has to be a part of that equation too. That salesperson has to be part of the equation, right?
It's just, if we don't individualize training for people and we just do the same old BS, like we talked about this in the coaching industry, right? And these people go and they think they need coaching, right? And they get talked into coaching for a year for $7,000. First of all, they don't need coaching. They don't even know how to sell. That would be like your 4-year-old picking up a golf club and then not even playing golf yet. You hire a golf coach for $3,000 a month to teach him how to play golf.
Yeah.
How about we like go to the range first but
Start
that's
learning how to
not,
play.
yeah, that's not what's done. It's like, you need coaching. You've been in real estate for 4 days. It's only $7,000, right? And here's the worst part.
Yeah, go ahead.
They don't get coaching. This is what happens. They get some dude in some call center somewhere, right, who's never, ever built a legitimate business. And I don't even care if they sold houses, cars, real estate. I don't even care what it is, right? But if you've created business, you've built a business, a 6-figure consistent business, hell, I'll listen to you. But that's not how it's done, right? It's a bullpen of employees going, hey, Eric, welcome to our coaching call today. Tell me about your week. Great. What are your action items? Did you do those? Great. Don't forget, you got to make your 57 calls. It's Monday. See you next week. That'll be $800, please. That is not coaching. How on earth could you actually coach somebody if you don't know anything about them? Right? And a coaching intake form with 4 questions, tell me about your goals. That's not coaching.
Right.
And these people are getting swindled, right? And there are amazing coaches out there. I love my coach. She's unbelievable, and I pay her a lot of money. But she's a real coach, and she's been doing it for 30 years. So coaching is good, but you need a baseline first. We got to get you to 6 figures to be able to take the next step. You can't go from 0 to brain surgeon in your first semester. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Oh, I paid the 40 grand. Where's my scalpel?
There's nothing. Yeah, that's not how it works. And there's nothing
crazy,
worse than
man.
having a salesperson try to sell you on something they don't understand. I tell you, that just drives me bonkers.
Happens
I'm like,
all the time,
why am I talking to you? You can't even describe your product to me.
Yep.
I get that with this. This blows me away. If I have someone that's trying to sell me a mortgage,
Yep.
and they're trying to sell me a mortgage for my house, and I ask them simple questions about rates or about APRs or anything like that, things that I understand, and they can't explain it to me, like, because I'm always curious to hear what they got to say, what they're selling. I love to get sold on stuff because
we do. Salespeople love to buy, right?
Yeah. So I'm always interested to hear what people got to say, what they're trying to sell. And when I hear someone that doesn't understand their product, it's like, what, someone didn't do their job for you to allow you to be on the phone with me and not understand what you're selling. Like, that's not right.
So that is a great point, and that's one of the things I just talked about on another podcast. Is you need to use this time right now, this social distancing time, to become a master. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to be the expert. Why should somebody buy from you? Why would they pay a premium to you?
Yeah.
Because your business card says home sales specialist? No.
Yeah.
They pay a premium to you because they know you're going to sell their house in 3 days and get the most value, right?
Right.
If you're a lender, right? What value do you bring to somebody besides going, oh, it's 3.275?
Yeah.
That's not value. So you have so much time right now that we just got handed. Every single person that used to commute that is now at home, which is a lot of people sitting at home, it's 19 hours a month that you just got handed. Mm-hmm. Because the average commute's 57 minutes a day, right?
Yeah.
2.5 hours a week. So understand, like, whether it's 12 hours, 19 hours, the average ended up at 19. But if you have, even if you only had an extra 10 hours a month, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
This is why people will either go one way or the other. They're either going to come out of this thing amazing and 10 times better, or they're going to come out of this thing exactly like they went in, and they're going to be 6 months behind everybody else that use this time wisely.
Right.
And that's the biggest challenge, right? What do we do with the time? And I wrote a blog literally just now on LinkedIn about this, right? How to be more effective while working at home. And there was an article from a major website, I won't say which one it was, and it said, 1,000 hours of TV to watch while you're social distancing. I swear to God, it's a real article.
Wow.
Before coronavirus, the average American watched 34 hours a week of TV.
Dang.
That's a full-time job. They're streaming on Netflix, Hulu, right? YouTube TV, regular TV. 34 hours a week before coronavirus. So what do you think they're doing now? Right?
Probably.
Because it ain't less.
In serious depression probably at this point in time, because that's not healthy.
No, and they're watching twice as much TV.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, guys, now's the time to learn. Now's the time to read. Now's the time to get a course. Now's the time to learn an instrument. I asked this question of we do a weekly coaching webinar, support, Q&A, right? Excitement call, whatever you want to call it. And I was asking the people on the call, our clients and members, I said, hey, so what are you guys doing now with your time? And one of the people, and I loved this, she goes, I'm learning Chinese and my daughter's learning French.
Sweet.
And I was like, that's freaking amazing, right? This is what people need to do, but the percentage of people doing it is so small. And so when you start investing in yourself in this time, because now you have the time, 3 months when this thing is over, you are going to hit the ground running, and it's going to be just sky's the limit for you because you're that much better. You built up your pipeline while you were in this kind of doldrum, right? You didn't just stop and cry in the corner, right? You're ready for what comes. And I don't know if you watch track or anything.
What?
You know anything about track, right? Track and field athletes, right? 100 meter dash, right?
I was in track, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I thought of this analogy this morning. And it made perfect sense. In a relay race, as you know, there's a relay race with 4 men or women. And when the first man or woman comes around the track, right, and they got to hand the baton off, the next guy or gal is not standing there static. The guy doesn't come around and then stop and then hand the baton and then this guy starts. The guy that's waiting to go already starts running. He's already running. And when the first guy comes, he catches up to him. He's already in motion, right? They make the baton pass when they're both moving forward.
Yep.
And this is where I'm going, guys. If you're not already running right now in this slow time, you have to be learning, watching, growing, right? Making sure you're staying in touch with the clients. If you're not continuing to move forward, when this thing is over, you're going to be dead meat because you're going to be standing there and everyone else is going to pass you.
Yeah, this is my 6th interview, and you've given me some tips on it, which were very helpful, and I appreciate. But this is my thing. This is what I'm trying to do. You know, it's something I want to augment with my business, so people can know who's the real Eric, who is this guy, and they get to see me doing videos, talking to other people, interviewing people, finding out about things. That's what you want in an attorney. You want an attorney that's basically able to dig into a question, dig into a topic, figure it out, be smart about it, be able to talk about it, and guide somebody through it, because that's what you do when you're interviewing people. When you have witnesses on the witness stand and you got a jury listening, they got to get what you're trying to ask and why you're asking it and how you're asking it. And, that's my job. That's what I do.
You just gave me another great analogy, which another thing that salespeople are extremely poor at is asking questions, right? And if you're an attorney that's bad at asking questions, and all you do, especially a trial attorney, right? And all you do is berate the witness and go, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. No. When you can get them to say that they did it, you win. But you can only do that with questions. And it's the same thing in sales. We talk about A, B, C all the time, this always be closing, BS, right? That keeps getting perpetuated all over the world. And I did a post on LinkedIn about this maybe a year or 2 ago. And I said, ABC, always be closing, right? I think not, okay? And I blasted it because it is horrible. And people were writing from all over the world. Oh my God, you need to talk to my boss. Oh my God, you need to talk to my manager. A few women go, please talk to my husband, right? So there were some of those. And one guy from Australia goes, Steve, man, I love this, but if you could teach somebody something in sales, like one thing, what is one thing you teach them? And everyone thinks closing or, whatever, right? What I would teach people is when your prospects ask you how to move forward, that's when you know you're doing a great job. When they say, man, Eric, this sounds great. How do I hire you?
Yeah.
That's when you know you got it.
Yeah.
When you do this closing question BS, right? So is there any reason you wouldn't hire me as your attorney, Tom? No, dude. That's not how to do it.
Yeah.
We spend 95% of the time doing a great presentation built on value, concern for what your prospect needs, right? Uncovering reasons how you're going to make their life easier. And then they are the ones that say, man, you know what, Steve? I think I do want to do that DNA test. This sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That's
People
how
should
you sell. Right?
That's, you know, and I'm going to jump back into this because we're kind of going off on a tangent here.
Yeah.
Your DNA test, it's for sales agents, it's for the management, and it's for the sales leaders.
Yes.
When you were describing it to me,
Yeah.
And so you basically, like you were saying before, you have an analysis you do of any different salesperson that comes in. So, you know, this isn't somebody just reading a resume. You're not a business just reading a resume of somebody, reading their cover letter going, hey, this guy's going to fit because I love this cover letter. Those aren't the metrics you're looking for in a salesperson.
Dude,
not at all, right?
No, it's another a sports analogy, right? Let's say you're the GM, you're the GM of a football team.
Yeah.
Right. And you go, man, you know, we had the #1 draft pick overall. We're going to pick that guy. Oh, why are you picking him? Well, he's the biggest, and he went to LSU, and I went to LSU. But we don't need that guy. We're actually looking for a quarterback.
Right.
No, but he's the biggest guy, and he went to LSU. And companies will continue to hire the wrong people over and over and over again. I talked to another client the other day, runs about a $5 million operation, has had 10 different salespeople in the last 2 years. It has cost him $280,000 in lost salary. It's paid, gone. Not one of the 10 is still there. Not one of the 10. If you don't know how to hire, that's an issue. But number 2 is, if you're using a resume to figure out if somebody's going to be good or not at selling soda cans in Poughkeepsie, New York, what are we doing? That's like using somebody's ability to color in a coloring book to determine if they're going to be able to play violin. Like, what are we doing? And
not even paint a Picasso to play a violin. I love that.
Most of the resumes are false, as you know, right?
Yeah.
People drum up their own stuff. And so you're making a $80,000 decision on what somebody tells you about how great they are. Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I did one thing that people always thought I was nuts for doing. And I always thought they were nuts for not doing it. Whenever I hire people, I always have them do a typing test and send me the results. Because I want to know how fast they type. I've had employees that type and they're pecking at the board, and I look at them and I go, God, you're not going to get anything done for me if you don't know how to type. So that's like one of the things, like, how can you not have that as part of the interview process with a person? You got to do typing.
They don't have it, man. And it's like all they do is look at a resume or see how somebody, oh, he's charismatic, let's hire him. Or, oh, he did great selling copiers, so he'll be great selling medical devices. No.
Yeah.
Not even remotely true. And it's like
maybe he loved printers for some reason. Who knows?
And he
doesn't like medical devices, you know. Who knows? You know, there's so many things that you got to analyze like that. And that's cool that your company does that you guys look at that and you guys analyze that. Because I mean, honestly, if you're a company and you have a sales department and that sales department isn't getting you, you know, results, they're not getting you the business in that you need, you've got a problem. You got a serious problem.
You're paying people, right, 50 to 100 grand, let's say, as a salesperson.
Right.
But you're paying them 80 to bring in 300. That's business, right? That we pay $1 for marketing, we want to bring in 3 back, right? But if you keep paying the wrong people 80 grand and you're not bringing in business, how many more checks of 80 grand do you want to keep writing before you get this right?
Yeah.
And
can't be one-to-one. Can't be one-to-one. You're gonna be.
It's nuts, man, because the way that they're doing it, they might as well just use a magic 8 ball or use tarot cards. Oh, he's a knight, we'll hire him. Like our tool, the
Yeah.
sales DNA test is 92% accurate.
Yeah.
92.
Wow.
So we can tell you this guy or gal, they're going to work out, right?
Yeah.
Because of the science. We've got 1.9 million people we've done this for. We have all the data. We've got the proof. We've got the third-party credibility. But all these other tools, they don't have any of it. They are the corner store that says world's greatest pie.
Yep.
And you ask them, you go, oh, Eric, who voted you the world's greatest pie? Oh, we did. That's what all these other tools do.
Very subjective.
Use our assessment, because if you're a green, you'll be a good. And like, what?
Yeah.
People are getting hoodwinked, man. And it's crazy because there's no science and there's no predictability.
Right. Well, so let's take, here's in sales, obviously real estate companies, they're dealing with this, sales agents every single day.
Yes.
And there's really no barrier to people becoming sales agents. It's very simple to get into the business. Not very complicated. You need a high school diploma. You got to take a couple courses that you can do through online courses that you can get done in a month, and not very complicated. You can take the test, get in. I mean, there's steps to it, and I'm not trying to downplay it and say that it's not complicated. There are some hard parts to it, but getting in, there's not a big barrier to getting in as a sales agent.
Correct.
Sales agent. For brokers that are out there and for people that are actually sales agents, how could they use your tool? How could they use the sales DNA test?
So from a broker perspective, and this will be pretty easy. I was thinking about this as you were saying this. Every lost listing, okay, that you don't get, that doesn't come into your agency, how much do you lose? Okay. Every one that's gone. If you have
your audio cut out.
Businesses.
Say that again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. I was saying, if you have untrained salespeople, untrained agents, and we keep losing deals, how much money is not coming in now?
Yeah.
Because this is what happens. People go, oh, I want that. Let's bring that person over to our brokerage, or let's bring that person into our company, or not having any idea if they can even sell. No idea. Because all they did was they looked at MLS, or they saw something last year and they go, oh, well, she did 21 houses. But the part that you didn't see was that those were all layups from the person that was introducing them to the deals, and they have no sales skills. Or they just had one really good year and got lucky because one family referred them to 4 people. If you don't know their mindsets, their systems, their strategies, their beliefs, their skill sets, if you don't know if they're a prospector, if they're a hunter, if they're a negotiator, right? If they sell on value, if they're good at social selling and social media, we measure that too, by the way. If you can't see their commitment level, if you can't see if they're coachable, if you can't see that they make excuses, because guess what? You can't see any of that on a resume. And you can't see it on MLS, and you can't see it in an interview. So these companies that are hiring agents, spend some money up front, use the tool to get the right people so you can bring in an extra $1 million next year in revenue, as opposed to losing $1 million because you just thought they were going to work out.
Yeah.
And on the agent side, I share this sometimes in talks. So many agents I see are announcing, well, now at Keller Williams, now at Coldwell Banker, now at wherever. And they think because they changed the logo on their business card that now they're going to do well. Like, oh yeah, that was my office. The chair was yellow, and I need a brown chair. Or they were in Point Loma, but now I'm in La Jolla. Dude, you gotta change you. Not the business card, not the address on the business card, not your logo. If you don't change you, it's irrelevant where you go.
And it's a business decision too. You should make a business decision about where you go based on what tools do they have, what benefits do they have, what's your cut, what's your split,
what are the leaders like?
Yeah, what are the leaders like?
That's a big one, right?
Those are great things to look at, but fundamentally, it shouldn't matter if you go to one place or another. It's you. It's you
if you're
doing
great,
that.
correct. Just like an athlete, right?
Yep.
If you're great, it doesn't matter where you play. LeBron could play in Milwaukee, Cleveland, New York, Miami. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
He's great. But you have other people that can't play everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Because they can't play in New York City. They can't play in Boston because they're not mentally strong enough.
Or they just have a really good connection with a certain team that got put together, and they just happen to work out,
Look at every team in the NFL that takes the Patriots players, right? Because they think, oh, well, if we just take this guy, he'll be great. Nope. Right. Every time a Patriot goes somewhere else, they suck. Every time, right? But Brady going to Tampa Bay, he's going to do great. You know why?
We'll see.
Because he would do great no matter where he is.
That's the question. And is he going to bring that same model over there? It's going to be interesting to see what happens when he moves over to Buccaneers.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, definitely. Are you a Patriots fan?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I like him too. I just heard the interview on Howard Stern Wednesday. It was really cool. To get Brady on Howard is like, what a guest, right?
Right.
It was really cool to hear him talk like a regular dude. Like it was fun to hear, right? And he's a class act. He didn't talk shit about Belichick. Like he's just like, I loved everything about my time. We won 6 rings. I owe my life to these guys. Like, that's who you want to class act. You don't want the guys that leave your company and then talking shit about this guy. Again, it's all because of the way he is, right? He wanted to be the best, right? And he watches more games.
He already was. He already was
anybody else.
Yeah, he already was the best. He unquestionably is the best quarterback ever. I think that you can't even question that anymore. Now, to put the cherry on top, if he goes to the Buccaneers and wins the Super Bowl,
right?
Woo, that would be crazy. I would be blown away. That'd be cool to see. I would love to see that. I'm not a Patriots fan, but I would love to see the Patriots win because that would be super cool to see him do that.
To go back to, we were talking about born to be great or whatever.
Yeah.
Not Brady, 199th pick in the draft, 6th round. Nobody thought he was any good. Couldn't even start at Michigan.
Because they weren't looking at the right stuff.
He worked at it. Correct. He had intangibles, right?
Yeah.
And the Patriots saw it. And that's
the same thing with sales departments. That's the same thing with sales. There's intangibles people don't understand. That's a great thing about your sales DNA tool. It puts those things into perspective. It gets people looking at, is this the right person to sell this type of product? Is this the right thing? Then you can start looking at them for leadership positions, management positions.
You just gave me the greatest analogy ever, right? Because literally the sales DNA test allows you to say, this is the next Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And you know it because it's accurate because we have the science. But you won't know it if you just guess, because look at all the bad draft picks that get made. He's tall, he's fast, she's quick, she's great. You can't see inside, and that's why so many first-round draft picks aren't even in the league anymore.
Here's another thing to layer on top of that analogy is, imagine if you had the next Tom Brady, and you pulled him into your organization, and then you put them through sales training where they get analysis paralysis from 50 different things, and they don't have a clue what they're good at, what they're not good at, what they need to fix, what they don't need to fix. What do you even do? How do you even go in and do sales how do you even come out of that and be the best?
That is another great analogy. Yeah. That would be like Brady going to Baltimore, right? Yeah. And then Baltimore telling Brady, hey, we're going to do the run option. We're going to roll you out and run 20 carries a game. Like, Brady's not a running quarterback. No, but that's what we run here.
Yeah.
That is what these companies are doing, right? They are taking a quarterback who can throw and making them run. They're taking a running quarterback who can run and making them stay in the pocket.
Right.
And that is what kills people. And it kills athletes and it kills salespeople.
And the sales people don't get how important the sales department is for your business. And running a sales department in your business well and doing it the right way, you will do amazing things. You will do just extraordinary things with that company, but you have to know how to establish the right sales team with that company. It's key.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
It's pretty crazy, man. I am very curious and I'm very interested to see where you end up at with the sales DNA test. I know you already have a lot of people using it. I would love to bring you back on
for sure.
in the future and have you go over basically and show everybody, you know, I'd love to have you come back on with a guest. Somebody that has been, you know, another guy. We could bring you on with one of your clients to come on and discuss.
We've got a few already, that I know would be happy to come on. So
cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. So maybe hopefully maybe in the next like month or a couple months from now, we can do another interview after I get through some of my other interviews. I got several other interviews I got to get through. But I would love to bring you back on, get somebody on to really discuss and talk about it. Because, you know, people are probably going to be a little confused why is this attorney bringing on a sales guy onto his show? And the law business is the sales business too. We got to sell people all the time. That's all we do. That's all
that's your call, dude.
Ever doing.
You take the calls, and if you don't convert them, that's on you, right?
But not only convert them, but not only get the client to come in and be my client, but then I got to sell it to adjusters. I got to sell it to the opposing party. I've got to sell it to a jury. I got to sell it to a judge. This doesn't end. It's a continuing thing as an attorney that you do hundreds of times a day.
All the time. It's not dissimilar to dentists, to chiropractors, to CPAs. But they've never been trained. They might be great at looking at a financial statement, but they have no idea how to sell. And if you can't sell, you don't have a business. I don't care what you do, right? If Coca-Cola doesn't sell their product, they don't have a business. So we have to learn how to sell, and we got to take it seriously. And you have to put as much time into that as you did into your skill, because you spent 7 years in school. You spent 4 years in school, right? Learning this stuff. So great point, man. I'd love to come back on.
Yeah, that would be really cool to have you on. So I would love to see that and have that happen. Thank you again for coming on. Here's your information. This is for anybody watching Victory Selling. It's the salesdnatest.com. That's where you can go to see Steve's information and the company's information. I didn't show everybody the website. Let me do that real fast before I let you go, just so people can see what that looks like as well. Where do I go for this? I got the wrong thing on the screen. Here we go. So are you seeing that? That's the screen for the website. Okay, so this is when you go to the Sales DNA Test, when you go to salesdnatest.com, this is where it takes you. You'll see
quick video right there, that little blue blinking button, right? That'll kind of give you a quick little video on what it is, how it works, how it can help you.
Cool.
And then you can kind of see the rest of it. If you click back on all the different things, right, we're able to help people. Again, right there, right? So what are your current sales capabilities? What is holding you back, right? Can we be better at selling consultatively? Can we be more effective closing? As a salesperson, that's the stuff I want to know, because how else am I going to fix it if I don't know? So check it out. Love to help. And appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. Anytime. It was great having you on.
Yeah, thanks so much, man.
Yeah, cool. Well, you have a good one, and I will catch up with you soon, I'm sure.
You too, brother. Thanks, man. See you guys.
Bye, Steve.